Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. My name is Yakalba from Plaintables Camp in Philly. I'm the elder apostle Gabar did this video early this morning. It's Sunday, January 30th, 2022. He's going into this piece right here, this section, in about 5 minutes, 50 seconds. And let's listen. Need the mic.
Women love to sing and dance. Okay? It's how they're hardwired that way. That the women came out of all the cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And women love music. That's why the musician, if you're a top musician, man, you get all kinds of women. Women throw themselves at you if you're a top musician. You don't even have to be a top musician. You could be a mediocre musician. You'll get P-U-S-S-Y. But if you're a top musician, come on, man. You get all kinds of women. The women's, they come. Reading on, it says, and the woman...
All right, so that led me to think, that women, and at the proper time, they're going to come to the elect for protection, and they got me thinking about our ancestors that were great. People followed the great men, even though some of them weren't exactly righteous, but they were looked at and revered as either being holy or have accomplished some great, military feat, or was in line in Europe, because our people ruled Europe. All right, the Constantine, he was a so-called black man. All the European powers at one time were all ruled by Israelites. All right, and I have icons to prove it. So this is pretty much like an icon video. All right, yeah, maybe. So, and at the proper time, oh God, I'm under attack. At the proper time, I got this page open. At the proper time, our women are going to be women again. Right now, they're disobedient because they have a lot of options. But those options are going to be limited, because the Lord has an elect among women that are going to go to the elect men for protection. All right. It says a Psalm of David, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. Who's the enemy? The main enemy are the Edomites, the so-called white man. He's the main enemy. All right. This is Psalms 110 and 3. It says, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, and in beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning thou hast to do with thy youth. Now we look up free willing, it says voluntariness, meaning they're gonna of their own free will, the elect, both the men and the women, that are currently either asleep or bullshitting around. They're going to be completely invested and follow the 144,000 prophets. All right, the word, because it's Yahweh Shai's word. All right, because right now you have a lot of them that are still asleep, or if they're not asleep, we just don't see them. All right, so it's going to be a lot of Israelites that are going to come in when they see power in the Lord's elect, because the Lord's elect prophets are going to receive spiritual power. All right, and they're willingly going to follow that power. All right, the elder made a comment about musicians and the power that musicians have. Somebody's using that power similar. We're going to have that power, that same power that these musicians have. All right. Over women, over people in general. To be in tuned on that vibration, on that frequency. That's how the rest of the elect are going to be toward the elect prophets when the day the power is shown. All right. Now, this is a picture, a more closer picture of what Ludwig van Beethoven really looked like. Not the Edomite image you'll see on when you're looking up his music. You'll see an Edomite image of him holding the score, him looking all angry, with the receding hairline and all that. But this is Beethoven. This is what I believe Beethoven really looked like. When you put in Black Beethoven, there'll be little debates about was Beethoven black. So he was an Israelite, all right. And the hairstyle he has, that's just the hairstyle of the area he was in. Clothing too. He was a Israelite that was born in Europe. All the monarchy, the main monarchies on the men's side were all Israelites from Russia to Scotland. All right, they were Israelites. All right, that eventually mingled their seed with fairer-skinned women. All right, but that's what I believe to be an accurate picture of Ludwig van Beethoven. So that's Beethoven. So all the classical music that you either hate or love, that comes from Beethoven, from his first symphony to his ninth symphony to his quartets, all right, to his piano concertos, all right, was made by a man that looked similar to this, if not the spitting image. All right, and all the other images that you see are iconoclasm, or not iconoclasm, but because iconoclasm means destroy. Well, I guess if you change it, the image, it looks like something else, you're destroying it. But it's Edomite supremacy, so-called white supremacy. All right. So we're gonna go over to Job 9:24. Job 9. So this is pretty much an icon video. Let's see what the spirit lead takes me. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right. All right. So the point here at 9:24 was cover, conceal. We got Kasa. To cover, hide, conceal. All right, what are they covered? They covered these images up. To cover, hide, conceal. All right, this is Ludwig van Beethoven. All right, to cover, conceal. To overwhelm. They overwhelmed us with the Edomite supremacy, to whitewash him. I believe it was a Doctor Who episode. I cut the clip. I recorded a while ago.
Interesting.
What is?
Regency England. Bit more black than shiny movies.
So does Jesus. History's a whitewash.
Covered. All right. So this is covered in a bad sense, obviously. It's not in a good sense. All right. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges. The judges are the Israelites. If not, where and who is he? All right. Former of all things. It says the portion of Jeremiah 51:19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. So every genre of music except for probably polka, uh, was created by Israelites. All right, whether it be jazz, that's Judah right there. Jazz, rock and roll, blues, classical, from Baroque, or Baroque, how do you pronounce it? Classical, romantic, modern, impressionism, all that was created by Israelites. All right, pop. I said pop, rock and roll, hip hop. Those are all created. Well, they all stem from. Well, the American versions all stem from rock and roll, but yeah, rock and roll, jazz. There are extensions of that, but before that, you had, classical, or the European popular music. All right, who was ruling Europe? And we're going to further prove it. So-called black men, which were really Israelites. All right. From the dress, the hairstyles, the music, they were created by Israelites. All right. This is not something that was created by so-called white people. All right. Because one of the issues we got in our nation is you have these images of all these damn Edomites in your head. All right. That's a huge problem. All right. All right. So, where we at? Icons. And then we'll get back to the women. All right. All right. We're going to start off with Russia. All right. I believe this is Prince Vladimir. If you're going to say Vladimir short, you say Vlad. And his sons Boris and Gleb. All right. Now, I addressed this one. As you can see, these long robes, these are traditions that Israelites wore with the mantle. All right, these are Israelite traditions. And Christianity was preached to Israelites first, and then when the sun worship and the idols came in to Christianity, that's when all the other nations started getting in with the Christians, which were originally Israelites. All right. So where we at? All right, Russia. So this is the same icon, and this is what's going on in the icon. And the first couple of lines is the point. It says, the beginning of Christianity in Russia is inexorably associated with Prince Vladimir of Kiev. In 988, he ordered the population of Kiev to go to the river Dnepr, however you pronounce it. I don't know if you pronounce it the Dnepr. And to be baptized as Christians, because that's a tradition amongst Israel to submerge yourself in water to be cleansed from your sins in the name of Yahweh Shai, the Lord. All right. It was a physical, a ritual amongst our people. All right. You get cleansed by going through that ritual, but more so you get cleansed by accepting the Lord first, because before you can do the physical thing, it has to be mental. All right. As it's written, you should be baptized with the Holy Spirit and with fire. All right. Baptized Christians. He commanded that the heathen idols be destroyed, and that the image of the pagan Slavs' main god Piran be dragged by horsetail to the Dnepr and thrown into the water. The feast of Vladimir is celebrated in Orthodox Church on 15th July. All right. So again, the people of the land, they have like traditions, and some of them, in the ancient world, well, hundreds of years ago, they were actually worshiping these images. So, and that's our people again into idolatry. Okay, they were just meant to be to sort of immortalize or memorialize the person for doing a great act, but not to be worshipped. All right. So that's how Russia got learned about the Lord. Because before they were worshiping idols, and then they got a little wiser. They were still worshiping the Lord incorrectly, because they believed in the mother of God and Mary's perpetual virginity and all that. So that was off. All right. So these were the superstars, the great men of history and of the Bible. All right. Again, the cross thing, that's something that, was never taught. That was something of the traditions of the people that were worshiping, and then they incorporated the sun worship and the idols into worshiping the Lord. So they mixed together, and then they just started calling it Christianity, which originally was a derogatory term. So my next page, I have descriptions of all 6 of these boxes, and I'm going to read through them. And I said earlier that the European powers were also called black people. All right. That eventually mixed their seed with fair-skinned women on the mother's side. All right. Because all the great people, they were men, obviously. All right. And some of them, or many of them, took fair-skinned women. All right. Now, your nationality is based upon your father. All right. If you can receive that. All right. Let's see. All right. I got to see if I can get both of these up at the same time. All right. I figured it out. All right. So it's St. Nicholas. I believe that's where they get Santa Claus from. If I'm not mistaken. Don't take my word for that. If it might be different St. Nicholas. This is what I'm saying. I believe his name is actually Nicholas, but it might be different Nicholas. No, I think this is the right Nicholas. All right, St. Nicholas was introduced to Russia from the Eastern Roman Empire, really, along with Christianity. Countless icons of the saint were painted. St. Nicholas Vita icon is a striking example. So the point here is, the boxers, the European powers, is also called black people. Even your favorite composers, Ludwig van Beethoven. All right. So Nicholas' parents, Epiphanius and Nona, took him to school where he is taught by his uncle and namesake the monk Nicholas. So St. Nicholas and his parents is being taught. You can see they're all so-called black people, and you can see the woman is completely covered up, his wife. All right. Yeah, she didn't stay at home. She went outside, because she's not a prisoner. And this is the heavy hitter right here, the second one. All right. Nicholas appears to the Emperor Constantine in a dream and orders him to release 3 unjustly condemned generals, Ursus, Napoleon, and Apollyon, who had prayed to him. All right. Of course, if they praying directly to the man, that's not right. But you can pray to the Most High, or to Yahushua, that a certain brother come deliver you. There's nothing wrong with that. But, praying directly to him as, as an idol or a thing to be worshipped, that's directly wrong. And it's not, condoned by the scriptures as something that we practice. But, yeah, you can pray that the Yahushua send, brother to rescue you or save you. So that's Constantine. Let me pull Constantine up, see what types in, see what shows up. All right, put Emperor Constantine in there. All right, got that nose. So basically, you think he's an Edomite. Oh, that's just Renaissance art right there. So I could say the most pictures they have of him are actually statues. All right. But you can clearly see that that he's being framed. Oh, there we go. He's being framed as an Edomite. All right, and then when you go read the Bible and you say, well, wait, that's an Edomite did that. Put the Bible together, or chose the what books to go into the modern day Bible. He really didn't. The Most High did. Well, Yahweh Shai did. That's another icon of did my elder in my camp today? Let's go work with biographer. No, it's, okay, that's a different site. Okay. Alright. So once you get these demonic ass images on your head, you start to see that even though, Constantine was he was a sun worshiper, I believe, that mixed both, let's say religions together, to get more followers, to unite the people more. All right, that's Tiberius, right? Or Caesar, the Emperor Constantine, Part 1. Roman Emperor Augustus. There we go, Augustus. There. All right. All right. So, as you can see, so if you've been hearing about Constantine was a sun worshiper and he put the Bible together, he was a sun worshiper, but that's Constantine. All right, and box number 2. His uncle, Nicholas appears to Emperor Constantine in a dream. All right, that's box number 2. So box number 3. So Nicholas, he has the crosses in the garment down to the foot, not the belly shirt garments that some of these dudes got. And who's the boy? That's number 3. It says the rescue of Dmitri from drowning at the sea. Nicholas pulls the boy out of the water after his boat had capsized on its way to Constantinople, was the Eastern Roman Empire, on Nicholas' feast day. All right, let's go to box number 4. Box number 4. Nicholas celebrates the liturgy bent over a large open gospel book on the altar. Number 5. The rescue of shipwrecked sailors during a storm. Oh, they just skipped this one, the middle one. All right, that's just Nicholas with the script. That's a shipwreck during a storm. All right. Nicholas prevents the execution of 3 innocent men. Just as the first one is about to be beheaded, Nicholas grabs the executioner's sword. As you can see, these are Europeans, by the way. All right, Russia. Well, this would be Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantine. It says Nicholas was introduced to Russia from Byzantium along with Christianity. All right, so I believe he was in Eastern Roman Empire, if I'm not mistaken. And they knew about him, and the Russians in the area were drawing them. All right, so we got Nicholas returns the young Basil captured by Arabs as a slave for the emir to his parents. And it's Nicholas' death. It says Nicholas, funeral of Nicholas. All right, or Saint Nicholas. I believe that's where they get Santa Claus from. All right, so you can see that the major European powers and holy men were Israelites. All right. So that's been proven. So the Bible was written by Israelites. What the elders said about the women.
Okay? It's how they're hardwired that way. That the women came out of all the cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And women love music. That's why the musician, if you're a top musician, man, you get all kinds of women. Women throw themselves at you if you're a top musician. You don't even have to be a top musician. You could be a mediocre musician. You'll get Pussy. But if you're a top musician, come on, man.
This is Ezekiel. They love drama. Ezekiel 33 and 32. And this is for all Israel here. It says, and lo, it's like 33 and 31. And thy people come unto thee as thy people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear my words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they shew much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness, which is idolatry. You know, turning up, partying, having a good time. Not being focused on what's important first, and then, you know, bullshitting after, but they do it backwards. All right. Ezekiel 33 and 32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that playeth, like a lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on the instrument, for they hear their words, but they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. So when Israel start to catch hell, that's when the elect, you know, women and elect men are going to really get serious, because they're going to fear for their life. All right. And it is impossible. It is impossible for the world's governments and, you know, Esau to totally pollute the Lord's elect. All right, you can only go a certain distance that the Lord will allow you to do, to abuse and harm His elect. All right, because the elect are not going to take the implantable device. All right, we're not going to be defiled with that. Yahweh Shai Ratazah. All right, so there has to be divine intervention. Because these governments around the world are going crazy right now with this damn drug program, and they're pushing this new currency. All the governments want a digital currency. They being serious about it now, and they want to devalue you know, the other digital currencies and to bring in theirs. All right. So it's going to get very serious. It says Philippians 3 and 8. So, you know, as we move, you know, toward our salvation, you Israelite men understand this, that you in this thing by yourself. All right, you got the brotherhood and everything, but when you go home, all right, when you are tempted, you by yourself. So you have to count everything in this world, including your wife, all right, which can transgress against you at any time. All right, because the majority of women that say they in the truth, they have not sworn or promised total submission and allegiance to their husband. I can say that in good faith. All right, so come with this mind. Philippians 3 and 7 says, but what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Yahushua. Meaning you have to have that mindset that at any time you could lose whatever. Because you have to have that mindset, because when Esau puts that implant out to be mandatory, we have to be like Peter and Andrew when Yahushua said, follow me, roughly paraphrasing, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. Say they straightway left their nets. All right. You can't be in your mind like, well, I got all this stuff, or this little bit of stuff. You know, I care for that more than, you know, resisting the hour of temptation. All right. Which is the implant. Yeah, doubtless, 3:8 Philippians. Yeah, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for me, for it's like for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach. It's like for the excellency of knowledge of Mashiach Yahushai, my Lord. All right, that includes your wife. All right, because remember, they're into music, popularity, clout, same thing, status. All right, worldly things. So, and feminism is running rampant, and they're all affected by it. All right, it's just down to the very last molecule. It's in their psyche. So it ain't nothing you can do. Well, you would have to get a young woman, you know, early 20s, you know. They may have, well, they're corrupt too. So there's really nothing you can do. But you have a better chance with a younger woman. They come with their set of problems also. Yeah, but they haven't sworn allegiance to you, so you can't really expect them to be obedient. You know, which really means is don't get in your fucking nerves and stay out your way. You know, but they think they're in slavery, I guess, when they're submissive. You know, but that's okay. That's judgment set up. So we count all these things as loss. All right. This is Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So, hey, because these women are being wicked toward us, hey, they don't love us. Hey, nothing we can do about that. The Lord loves us, and the Lord is going to deliver to us women that are obedient and that are in total and complete subjection. All right. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right. And because of iniquities, that's detaching you from protection. I'm talking to the women now, and well, all Israel. Because of your iniquities, that's detaching you from protection. Anomia, I believe anomia means law. I think that's what it means, right? Or nomos. Of any law whatsoever, a law or rule producing a state government approved by God. Yeah. So A means not. Anomia, no law. Iniquity, condition. Oh, right there. A condition of without law, because ignorant of it, because of violating it. Contempt, violation of law, iniquity, wickedness. All right. So since they're not following the law, which says, you know, the woman is subject to her husband. All right. Ignorant or ignoring it, lack of knowledge or awareness, uneducated, unsophisticated, or violating it, meaning they know about it, but they don't want to do it. It says break or fail to comply with a rule or formal agreement. All right. Now here's when the Lord actually turns up Esau's mind to put forth his hand to destroy our people and destroy his own people. All right. Women are going to be running for their life, and they're going to be cleaving onto the elect Israelite men. I mean, literally like harassing and grabbing, begging to learn the commandments and to be in order. All right, literally, no exaggeration. All right, this is yeah, because remember, we're not immortally beloved like top level musicians, Ludwig von Beethoven. All right. But we're more, and instead of John, the forerunner. All right. So this is what's going to happen. It says the glorious future, Isaiah 32. This is speaking of Yahushua and his elect men. Behold, a king, which is the Lord, shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. And we are the princes, all right, relative to Yahushua. All right, but we are kings, all right, but relative to Yahushua, we are the princes, all right. And a man shall be a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. All right, the tempest, the covert storm represents danger and death and destruction. All right, and a physical, actual storm, because that could be how the Lord protects us, by creating a storm, by bringing the chariots nearby and creating a storm and freezing Esau's ass from coming to get us, or burning them up with heat. The soldiers and the military, the vehicles coming to snatch the Lord's elect. That the man shall be a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, which is resources right there, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. All right, meaning shelter from the heat of the day, protection. But that's only going to come through obedience. You know, what does it say of obedience to, you know, our counterpart, so to speak? All right, Isaiah 4:1. So don't even worry about, you know, getting an obedient woman right now. That's if you don't have one, the Lord don't want you to have one. All right, it's not for you to you know, haste above what the Lord has for you. All right. You got to be focused on, like the elder's saying, don't be too emotional about women. All right, you got a little thing, just use it, and if she disappears, look, she's not that important. All right, they're ornaments and jewels. All right, you don't have to have them. All right, but we do have a right to them, because the Lord promised us those ornaments and jewels, you know, in the scriptures. So we are promised that. But right now we're say rubies, gemstones, gold, you know, in the rough, you know. But in the day of the Lord's power that he gives his elect, that power, we're going to be clean and shining. All right. And women, through necessity, and, you know, they want clout, status, and all that. They want to be around great men. They're going to grab the elect Israelite man. All right. It says, because of the word there, take. That's aggressive. It's an aggressive word. Isaiah 4:1 says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. It's not going to be you jealous of another one. Well, if you're jealous or not, that's not even relevant. Getting protection and food and shelter is going to be the thing. It's going to be more important than whether you're jealous or she got a fatter ass, she got bigger titties, you like her more than me. Yeah, man, you're going to think that, but hey. Or whatever, you know, type the man likes. She might like thin girls or flat backs, like Coach say. You know, some of you brothers like flat backs. All right, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, which means shame, disapproval. Why are black men? Well, it's all the tribes, but why black men always talking shit about black women? Well, disapprove of your behavior, your attitude. Simple as that. Nothing more than that. And your hair too. That's a big thing. Men love long flowing hair, whether it be straight, curly, 4C. Men love long hair. All right. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, meaning marry us. All right. whose husband are you? Yakal. Tahar. Elder Tahar. Elder Gabar. All right. That's going to be the name that's going to be put on these women. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our approach. Now, I had a word. I thought I pulled it up. That day, so take hold. Lakak. This is the same word. Let's see. Then Deuteronomy, the controversial script. Yep. Because the word lakak means to grab hold of, to take hold. So this is an aggressive word. 22 and 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, so grab hold of, arrest, just grab. All right. There's different levels of severity, obviously. Her, and then have sex. All right. Deuteronomy 22 and 25. All right. So the word here in Isaiah 4 and 1 is grab hold, arrest, take hold of, lay hold on. H2388. Chazak. All right. Strength, prevail, hard, strong, to make strong, firm. So take hold, to make bold. All right. To display strength, take hold of, keep, hold, retain, hold up, sustain, support. Right? They're going to be able to sustain a relationship. To hold, contain. All right. So, very powerful word. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, here we go. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Take away our reproach. So we're going to be the new top level musicians, such as the immortally beloved Beethoven, considered to be the greatest musician, composer, in that fashion anyway, to ever live. And we're going to have the power and popularity of all the saints that were great. All right. So that is the end of the lesson. From the icons to Constantine, the Emperor Constantine, the sun worshiper. All right. So-called black man. Saint Nicholas, Eastern Roman Empire, so-called black man. Right, you can see the women covered up. Look, she got earrings on. All right. And in that day, people are going to be willing. There's going to be no more time for playing games and being afraid to submit. It's going to be by necessity. That's the only way that the majority of these women are going to change, is through necessity. You know, clout, popularity, wanting protection. All right, we're going to be those superstars. All right, because Yahushua said so. All right, so I hope you were edified. Shalom to the next lesson.